From our 22 News Broadcast Center, this is 22 News in Focus.
Good afternoon and welcome to 22 News in Focus. I'm Ciara Speller. During the month of June, LGBTQ-plus Pride Month is celebrated across the country, with many events happening right here in Western Massachusetts to highlight this community's contributions to society. According to the Library of Congress, Pride Month was celebrated and created to honor the 1969 Stonewall Uprising in Manhattan, a tipping point for the gay liberation movement in the United States. And in big cities and small communities across the country, events are held to show support for the LGBTQ+ people and to highlight their successes. Today on 22 News in Focus, we'll be talking about issues facing the LGBTQ+ community in our region. Joining me now is Torian Bethia, the founder and CEO of the Springfield Pride Parade. We thank you so much for being here on the program with us.
Thank you for having me.
So I first want to ask, when did you found the Springfield Pride Parade and what gave you this idea?
Yeah, so what gave the idea, we were kind of going through, but we were going through COVID back in 2020. So everybody had a chance to kind of sit and pause. And I knew when I came out, years before, a couple of years before, I knew I wanted to do something more, to really just put it out there and allow the youth to just see a different figure representing the community. So I had some time to sit and think, and I just started calling around and telling people a different idea. And we, Mass Mutual actually mentioned, one of our presenting partners came and said, if we can move this to 2021, I think we can do it. We made our way and kind of started putting everything together. Unfortunately, we couldn't come out. COVID got a little worse. So 2022, we moved it and we said, let's just go for it and let's launch. But I was able to launch the organization in 21 as well. So doing all of the footwork to create the actual parade itself and the organization. And I just felt it was a time for us to come out, Springfield's coming out of this dark time that we were in. So it was just time for light, love, and a celebration of who we are as a community.
Right, like you said, light, love, and a celebration of who you are. When you first came out with this idea, was there any opposition?
Yeah, actually, funny enough, the year that we were doing it in 2022, Mayor Sarno was getting a lot of letters from just people around, afraid of whatever it was they were afraid of. And I just wanted to make it a point that this celebration supports the youth in this community, and that's something I feel we accomplished, because the day that we launched, to just see the kids out there celebrating, you could tell they felt safe, they felt the love, and that light that we talk about was there. So, the opposition was there, but we just had to keep moving forward, and it was a huge success.
And this year's Pride Parade was held on June 3rd. Thousands of people in attendance. Yes. Another successful event. Talk about, what goes into organizing the parade.
A lot goes into it. There's a lot of small pieces that go into organizing the parade, especially when it comes to licenses and promotion and marketing and all of that stuff, which a lot of people don't see those parts. So, a lot of planning and just the routes that we were coming up with and making sure everything is on point to make sure we create a safe environment, for everybody participating. So we were planning for about 10 months. We just started planning 2024 now, so it's like it takes about a year to put the plans together and really execute an amazing event.
And talk about sponsors and partners. Who's involved in making this happen?
Yes, we have great partners. We partner with the City of Springfield, and Mayor Dominic Sarno has been a great partner from the beginning, just allowing us to kind of run with the ball and just do, what we need to do to create this amazing event. In the Department of Health and Human Services, Commissioner Carlton Harris, who is actually one of our award winners this year for another event that we've created to just amplify what Pride Month is about in the weekend. And our newest partner, MGM, which we're super excited to have on board, we're just creating this amazing weekend. And then, of course, as I mentioned, Mass Mutual was a great presenting partner from the beginning, with giving us the idea to make this happen and really move forward with this Pride Parade. And Springfield Technical Community College was another presenting partner with loaning their campus for us to create this amazing party before the party event this year, which was awesome. So we're just happy to have, such a solid team of sponsors on board to push our missions forward.
And how about people who marched? How many organizations and people that you have involved in the marching?
Off the top of my head, I don't really remember. I have to go back and look at the actual numbers, but we doubled our numbers from last year. So I want to say we had about maybe 6,000 marchers.
Wow.
I know another partner of ours, Bay State Health, came with at least 300 to 400 people. So I'm like, there's no way we didn't touch over 6,000 people. So it was incredible to just see that turnout and support.
Yeah, and see community coming together for sure. Were you concerned about any anti-gay demonstrators?
Yeah, that's always a concern, you know, because especially with the climate that the world is currently in, it becomes a great concern. So partnering with the Springfield Police Department is key, and just, you know, they hear a lot of like feedback from the community or any uprising that may happen, but we had no issues 2 years in a row, so I think we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, and now with the second parade, you know, finally done, what was the feedback?
The feedback was great. Everybody is looking forward to next year. We have our date officially, which would be June 1st next year, so we're excited about that. And then this year we created more events, more direct community events as well. So just receiving the feedback from everything that we did this weekend, it's been great, positive feedback. A lot of people want to get involved as well, which is amazing. So it's like the community coming together to just make this happen and really own this program.
Yeah, and just quickly, you also had the UBall. It was Met inspired. Tell us about that.
Yes, the UBall was, I don't know what made us go bigger and better, but that has been our running theme, and the UBall in partnership with MGM was incredible. It was a Met inspired, and Fabergé egg was our theme this year. And the actual Fabergé company reached out to us to give their blessings and their support, and gave us some auction items as well. And it was a great fundraiser. You know, it was something special to bring to the city and really show, you know, just the support from everyone. And we had some great awardees, and able to put our safe space programming in the forefront was kind of the biggest one for me.
All right, Torian, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll continue our conversation after a short break. You're watching 22 News in Focus. All right, Torian Bethia, founder and CEO of the Springfield Pride Parade, back here on the second segment with us now, and we're going to have you start talking about the Safe Space Springfield initiative. Tell us a little bit more about that. Yes,
so our Safe Space initiative, which we launched with our, as we launched our organization in 2021, it started as a initiative that targets local business to commit to becoming safe spaces, so disavowing any type of hate speech, discrimination, or bullying in their establishments. Which we now have over 20 businesses in the city of Springfield on board of being committed safe spaces. But then we wanted to expand it into social emotional learning for the youth of the community. And last year we launched it with a Safe Space Summer program in partnership with Springfield College. And then in the fall, we went into Springfield Public Schools to continue the safe space programming within 4 Springfield Public Schools. So this year we're looking to expand into more, and then we're getting ready to launch our summer programming for the second year with Springfield College on July 11th. So it's super exciting to get a lot of the youth involved and show them how to build community and really just understand their emotions and begin to develop a team around them. So we love to connect them to the proper resources. So we have mental health professionals that come in and speak to the kids, financial advisors. We do yoga, which is awesome. So it's a lot that we do for the youth just to kind of maintain a healthy living, a way of living pretty much.
Yeah, really important, of course. And do you have any other community programs that are in the planning stages right now?
Well, the summer program we are launching, but being the fact that we're expanding the Safe Space program into more public schools, into high schools, going into the fall, we're kind of working on building that curriculum out now. So the Safe Space program is taking up a lot of the work that we're doing right now, which is making sure that everything is on point and ready to expand.
And during the last segment, I had you touch on the UBall. So just quickly recap on that again, and then tell us about, you had some awards and scholarships that were given out as well.
Yes. The UBall, which was our inaugural year, so we're excited about that, and it was such a success. It was beautiful. We presented some awards. Our legendary award, which goes to just someone that has dedicated their life's work to looking out for the LGBTQ+ youth. Commissioner Colton Harris was our legendary award winner, and also our MC for the evening, which was amazing. And then we gave an award, our Against All Odds award, to Kaylee Boyd of the Play It Smart organization, which is this really cool organization that she's a Commerce female basketball coach. And her story was incredible because she took that team from having 1 to 2 players to being a winning team in like a year. And they fought so many different things through adversity, with all of the members on the team having different like personal issues that they were dealing with, to come together and become like this winning team. It just totally made sense to being a Against All Odds award winner. And then from that team, which was great, because it all worked out with planning wise, Zaida Serrano is one of our Ruby Lee Scholarship Award winners, and White Lion Brewery matched us 100% to make that scholarship $3,000 scholarship. So it was just a perfect night, and we were able to give back to the community and show what we were doing, with the funds that we were raising that evening during the UBall.
Yeah, we were there, we covered it, and it looked amazing. So excited for the next one.
Yes,
sure.
it is happening, and we have our theme. So
all right.
Yes.
We'll be waiting. So Pride Month is winding down pretty quickly. Do you have any other events planned for the month, or any other exciting announcements?
Yes, we are. We finally got the green light to do our LGBTQ+ Pride Crosswalk, which is happening at some point this weekend. And we're excited. It's something different for the city. It's something new. The mayor is behind us 100%. It was passed unanimously through City Council. So we're excited to do that, to invite the kids down, to invite the community down, to paint and just have a good time, and really just kind of send Pride Month off with an amazing event.
Yeah, and what about the future of your organization? What are your hopes?
We're looking to go into housing. We're looking to create housing. The numbers for homeless youth within the LGBTQ+ community are like way too high, and one of our missions is to connect them to the proper resources to just continue to thrive. And I don't believe homelessness and a homeless shelter is the proper answer for a kid that may get kicked out of their home for just being who they are. So our organization is just looking to try to create some type of program, to where we can give substantial housing, but then also give them the resources to continue to maintain that home, a job. So we would connect you with a financial planner that can walk you through budgeting and, just what those responsibilities look like, so we can really create some, upstanding citizens here in the community.
Yeah, and while we're making great strides in getting more people to support the LGBTQ+ community, there's a lot of work that still needs to be done. So how important is it to have these Pride positive events and educating the public? Absolutely.
Well, Pride in itself started as a protest, which is great because it's a celebration, but then at the same time, while you have people's attention, you have to say something. You have to speak up for what's needed. So these events allow that kind of megaphone to speak to the issues that we're currently dealing with as a community. So I think to support those and constantly be involved and get in those conversations really sparked some change here in the community. And as of the 2 years that we've been doing our Pride celebration, it's been major strides within Springfield and the LGBTQ+ community. So it is a system that works.
All right, Torian, thank you for your insight.
Thank you.
The LGBTQ+ community continues to face discrimination and stigma. We'll have that conversation once we return. You're watching 22 News in Focus. Welcome back to 22 News in Focus. Today we're talking with Torian Bethia, the founder and CEO of the Springfield Pride Parade. We're discussing issues facing the LGBTQ+ community as part of Pride Month. The LGBTQ community continues to fight for better access to health care and for equal treatment by doctors and health insurance companies that can block individuals' access to care they need. LGBTQ youth are more likely to have health issues because of substance abuse and mental health issues. And trans individuals can face discrimination from health insurers simply for identifying as trans. So what are your reflections on mental health when it comes to the LGBTQ+ community?
Yeah, it's a lot to deal with, especially with feeling as if, there isn't support around who you are as a person or how you identify, which weighs heavy on a lot of the youth of our community. That's why through our Safe Space program, we focus on mental health and how to cope with, just what you're going through. So, it takes such a toll on the youth that are just like trying to be who they are. So a lot of the ways that we teach them to kind of cope with what they're dealing with, through different types of meditation, yoga, and really what we notice is a lot of the youth that we work with use art as a way to kind of like cope and escape from, the harsh realities that they're dealing with, which is super impressive. I can't draw for anything, so art doesn't work for me. But it's amazing to see how strong, these kids are with dealing what they're dealing with just something as simple as living your life.
And do you feel that you and your peers have similar stories?
Interestingly enough, me and my peers don't have similar stories. I have a really cool, diverse group of friends, and I think that's what brings us together is our differences. We do have those tough conversations, and we have those conversations that just lead to some form of understanding, which is kind of one of the things that I thrive on is, tough conversations make great things happen, as long as understanding is our goal. So, we come from different stories, different backgrounds, even my story with speaking to another member of the community is completely different, and that's great, because that's how we'll learn from one another is by having diverse stories and being able to kind of utilize those differences to make us come together as one.
Yeah, and so during Pride Month, more attention to these issues, but these are issues every day that youth are dealing with that are trying to figure out who they are and who they feel comfortable being. So, what can be done to make them feel like they fit in and to make them feel like they're not alone, they're not isolated?
Allow them to be who they are, and it's just like, you're supporting another human being, period, and I think that's the easiest thing is to understand that you're just supporting a person with allowing them to be whomever they identify as, and it's simple as that, just that having that support because they're going through a lot just as people in general, young people being new to the world and understanding all that goes on here. We don't want to add another layer with something as simple as them just being who they want to be, So just support and allow them to just live their lives.
Yeah, and no matter if you're young or you're older, you might be hesitant about deciding to tell your family and friends about your sexuality, right? So, if someone's anxious about coming out, what advice would you share with them?
Take your time. Take your time, stay true to yourself, and just really understand that you're just being who you are, and yeah, there's no rush. There's no good answer. There's no right answer. It's just being, authentic to you. When I came out, I thought everybody would think I would change. I identify as a masculine gay male, and I thought people would think that was a facade, So when I came out, my hesitation was my identity would be looked at as something else. So, that just channeling that, being authentic and just being true to who you are makes it a little easier. But again, my story is a little different from others, So do it on your own time. When you feel the time is right, you'll know, and just go for it and don't be afraid.
And your organization is a great resource for those who might be struggling with their sexuality here locally, but what other resources are there in our region?
One of my favorite organizations we had a chance to build during our Pride Weekend, Colorful Resilience. The owner of that organization is truly, truly amazing, and they allow the youth to just kind of understand what they're going through, and they have a strong focus on mental health. Another resource which I love is the Black Sheep Yogi, which kind of shows the youth how to cope through yoga with a lot of their mental health issues and just anxiety and stuff like that. So those two are the two that I could think of off the top of my head, which are just amazing organizations that really show you how to deal with anxiety and mental health issues.
And lastly, what other issues do you feel like need to be addressed with the LGBTQ+ community right now?
I think we all really need to stand up for trans health and our trans brothers and sisters, really do the research and get involved and find ways on how to support them and their need right now, because they are going through a lot, especially with healthcare. I think it's important for all of us to utilize our voices, to be great allies and stand together as one, and support them and their issues that they're going through for just proper healthcare.
And lastly, how can people learn more about your organization?
Yes. Visit springfieldprideparade.org. We're on all the socials, Instagram, Springfield Pride Parade org, Facebook, Springfield Pride Parade Organization, and we're always out and about doing something. So, yeah, it's easy to find us.
All right, Torian, we thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And I'll have some final remarks after a short break. You're watching 22 News in Focus. You've been watching 22 News in Focus, and today we've been discussing some of the issues facing the LGBTQ+ community in our region with Torian Bethia, the founder and CEO of the Springfield Pride Parade. Torian, thank you so much for this great conversation.
Sierra, thank you for having me. This was awesome. I appreciate it.
And one more time for people to find your page.
Yes, springfieldprideparade.org is our website, and we're on all social media, Springfield Pride Parade org.
All right, Torian, thank you so much.
Thanks.
And thank you to our viewers at home for watching. If you missed any of our program, you can find it on our website at wwlp.com. From all of us here at 22 News, have a great day.